Hello, Gunner James 105 again, just in front of a Canadian tent that was from the era that I was in the artillery reserve. This is not a very tall tent. I'm sitting down on the ground. Just thought I'd give you a little insight into these things. I've been checking because my question to myself was, when I was in, which was mid 80s, we had a ground sheet which we would have our sleeping bag laid out on. So when we could do a lot of winter exercises, we would be in the 5-man Arctic tent, and or a much larger wall tent. And I'm trying to remember how many would fit in there. Uh, I think as many as 20. So 20 can fit in this wall tent, and same thing, you'd have your ground sheet down and then your sleeping bag on top of that. And the only time that we used this, that I recall, other than those two other types of tents, was during our basic training. We had to go on a compass march. Now, this compass march was completely overcast, pouring rain, and at night. So it was very, very dark. And so we had to make our way through, I forget how many miles it was, until we reached our spot where we were going to bed down. And so when we got to that spot, thankfully we were able to read this compass. And when we got to this spot, we were there, and these tents had already been set up. So we just laid our ground sheets down, which was good. The grass was soaking wet, and so haven't actually set up one of these until just now. And I guess getting back to the question that I was asking myself, when we were issued half of a tent, so one ground sheet was half a tent, and you would buddy up and then you'd zip it together and set this thing up. We never had poles, pegs, or ropes issued to us. So I suppose in the time of perhaps real life mission, that would be something that would be taken care of. But for the years that I was in, we had these tent halves for a ground sheet only. So today I decided, since I'd bought these two halves at a surplus store a year or so ago, that I would set it up today. It's a nice, beautiful summer day, and the poles that I had found are actually the crest on there looks to be a Swiss crest. I think the German army had the same, very similar pole system. So it's 3 components that fit into this bag, and there's 3 pegs in each bag. So you'd have 2 bags, therefore enough for 2 poles and 6 pegs. And so I'm utilizing that today, and then just some paracord that I've got lots of. So paracord and just some of my own camping pegs to give you a rough idea what it all looks like when it's all set up. So did I forget anything? No, I'll make my way around the tent just to show you what it looks like when it's all set up. So I'll just get off the ground here and grab this camera and make my way around this thing. And so, glad to not be staring into the sun filming for the first part there, but that's the 3-piece pole, and they're fair-sized tent. There's no problem getting two in there with gear. Now I don't know how well that shows up in this light, but yeah, there's lots of room. And what helps is having these guy ropes on the side of the tent. Just pull the sides out. So basically, I'll just drop back and give you the view. Oop. There went my tripod. that's the view from a distance. Now, when you get these, there's different eras, I believe, that they're punching these out, and so some of them have this color on the outside. I suppose further searching I might be able to match these up, but the other side is this dark color. Now, unless I've done something wrong, because I see no other way of zipping this thing together. But yeah, you've got your flaps on the ends that you could pull out and tie off over there, so it'll give you a little extra room in there, or just tie them straight down. And so that's basically the side here, and then we've got the back. I've kind of pulled that out like so. One spends a little more time, perhaps get it a little neater, a little nicer job done, but this is in lead up also to I think it'll be the last piece of equipment that I haven't done a video on, and that's the sleeping system. So the whole sleeping bag kit. So I'll have to do that video. There you have the Canadian Army. I'm not sure how many years they use these, or if they're still using them, but as I said, this was the era I was in was the 80s, and yeah, so makes for a nice cozy little tent, lots of room. I think I'll just, I was going to show you, should have went around as I passed this side here, but these were the shadow out of there. These are the pegs. So I used just a couple on the ends, and then the bags. And there's the markings. So fairly clear markings on those as far as the year. So we've got two different manufacturers, two different yeah, so yeah, there we go. So that one, and then that one there. So Canadian Army pup tent. Thanks for watching.